Growing up, there were several times when things got out of hand, when my dad was trying to keep things under control. When my older brother and I got too old to spank, he used whatever was within reach, a leather belt, or one time he used a piece of the back fence. The last time he ever beat me was because I had skipped school and he had found out. He had told me to meet him in the shed, and I knew it was going to be bad. He had a 9-iron golf club in his hand. I noticed it was one out of a set he had custom made just for me. I remember being so angry, and I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of hurting me. So when he was done and the golf club was bent, I turned around and smiled and walked away. Needless to say, he took the golf club when he left, probably to keep himself out of jail. He never touched me again. When I was 15, I fell in love with my drug dealer boyfriend, and was pregnant by 16. I had my oldest son by 17. My family told my boyfriend to leave and to never contact me, and that was that. I met a man and married him by 18. I wasn't in love with him, but that got me out of the house and away from my dysfunctional family. However, 2 children and 7 years later, I finally found the courage to tell him I wasn't ever really in love with him. That ended our marriage. At age 24, I was a single mother of 3 children, and this is where my addiction really began. I started using meth regularly, and within 5 years, I was addicted to opiates. 10 years of abuse later and burnout on life, I met a man who got me hooked on heroin and cocaine. 2 months into that relationship, and going downhill fast, I lost custody of my 3 children. When I found out I was pregnant with my 4th child, I was at my lowest point and unable to stop in my addiction. My daughter was born on June 30th, 2012, addicted to opiates and cocaine. It was in this most unforgivable and shameful moment that God met me in a very powerful way. Grandma and Grandpa had been praying for me for years. They weren't quite sure for what, but 2 days after my daughter was born, I was arrested for child endangerment and possession of heroin. God sent an angel by way of my sister-in-law who wanted children but was not able to conceive. She adopted my daughter, Madison. She is now 2 years old, healthy, happy, and dearly loved. After spending 9 months in jail over the course of a year and a half and failing the state's drug court program, I was done. I was faced with an important decision: to get out of jail and continue my self-destructive ways and eventually die, or to do something different. That came in the form of coming to Adult and Teen Challenge Missoula campus. It was actually my dad who was the one who told me about Teen Challenge when I was still in jail. This was a major turning point in my life. I entered the program on January 7th, 2014, and my new life began. Revelation 21:4 says, "He will wipe away every tear from my eyes. There will be no more pain, for the old order of things has passed away." God has shown me He is for me and not against me. Hope that I thought was lost forever has been restored. Relationships that I had utterly destroyed are reshaping and forming back together like something out of a sci-fi movie. I am truly amazed. Romans 5:3 says, "We also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulations produce perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope." I recently went home for the funeral of the most important man in my life, my Grandpa Pete. He showed me true unconditional support and love through all my destruction. It was him who showed me who Jesus really is and what love really looks like. I realize we are closer now than we have ever been. An event like this would normally send me into a tailspin where the vicious cycle of addiction rages. However, I am finding out that God's love and grace is enough, and that I don't have to keep punishing myself, but that I can forgive myself, and my past mistakes do not define me. I have been clean and sober for over 430 days now, and I realize I am beginning my new life of redemption. And I realize, I'm beginning my new life of redemption, hope and freedom. I hope to stay here in Montana after I complete in January. I want to pursue my passion in teaching power tumbling to children, to be a mentor to other women in the Teen Challenge program, and find a home where I can have my son come live with me. It's been 2 decades in the making, but I am finally living the life God has wanted me all along. A life of freedom, joy, of peace, of hope, and most importantly, of love.
Woo!